See, I draft in a lot of leagues with a lot of sharks, right? A lot of experts. And the one thing that we all avoid is drafting quarterbacks too early. So in home leagues, that might not be the situation. But I don't draft like I've been trying to get Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, Drake May, and those guys can all be had round 9, round 10, somewhere in that area. Because I want to load up on offensive skill position players. I want to have my first 5 picks. I want to have 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. And then in the 6th round, I may be looking at a tight end, maybe a Sam Laporta or TJ Hawkinson, someone like that. I like balance. I've never done a 0 RB. I've gone close just to see. Maybe my first 3 picks are wide receivers, and I don't have any problem with that, especially in a full point PPR. And then maybe the next 2 are running backs. So you still get like the 3 and the 2 after the first 5 rounds, which is fine with me. Tight end, I like to get a decent one. I don't want McBride or Bowers because it's just too expensive. I don't want to pay that high price for a tight end. I just don't. I'll get Jake Ferguson. I'll get Evan Ingram. I'll get David Njoku. If I can't get, say, Laporta or Hawkinson or Taylor Swift's fiance, that's what he's known as now. Okay. He's no longer Travis Kelce. He's Taylor Swift's fiance. So yeah, good for them. I'm very happy for them. Hopefully this kicks him up a gear and he has a better season than he had last year, which I don't really expect, but it is what it is.
It could distract him.
Wouldn't Taylor Swift distract you? Geez Louise. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's my strategy. I load up, like if I'm in a 15, 16 round draft, like I want 5 running backs, I want 5 wide receivers, a couple of quarterbacks, a couple of tight ends. If you draft a kicker in a defense and you only draft one of those and you draft those with the last 2 picks and, look for your sleepers, like after, round 9, Pearsall, for somebody like that, or a Brenton Strange, or, grab a Braylon Allen, make sure you're handcuffing where needed. If you draft Christian McCaffrey, you better get Brian Robinson Jr. If you draft Kenneth Walker, you better have Zach Charbonnet, because you don't want somebody to go down who has historically had injury problems, and then you're stuck holding the bag because somebody else has got your backup running back in that situation.
So I asked a friend the other day, how many fantasy leagues are you in? He said 81. How many? How many
81?
are you?
Yeah, they got to be best ball.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm like 81. How many are you in?
Last year I was in 18 and I says, okay, I can't do it. And 18 where I had to set my lineup. I'm like, I'm out. I can't do it. I know it's what I do for a living.
It's a lot.
I want to have some semblance of a social life from freaking September until Super Bowl. So I think this year I'm going to have like 14 leagues where I have to set a lineup, and then like a bunch of best ball where I draft and I don't care. I'll look at the end of the season and see what happened. It's what I do and I love what I do, but I hate finding myself having to root against the same players when it comes to the playoffs. I hate that. Like in the regular season, it's like, it is what it is. But once I get to the playoffs and I need this guy to do well in 3 games, and then I need this guy to suck, the same guy in another one, it's like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I typically you can't shoot the moon. So I tried to cut down a little bit. So I think I'm like down to 14. But like when I tell you that most of my drafts have not happened yet, we did the Sports Illustrated Invitational already. Scott Fish, I already did. I already did a Fantasy Football World Championships high stakes draft. I actually did 2, another Experts Leagues draft, so that's 5. Everything else is still coming.
Are you still in that league with Rollins and Miz?
I call him Colby because he's my friend, and he's, to me he's Colby. But yeah, Seth Rollins, no. Okay. He dropped out last year. He's got,
his football sucks.
But Mike, yes. Mike, we play in the Allison Chains League. Okay. We've been playing in that league together for a long time. That draft is actually coming up, I think Sunday. If I'm not mistaken. I'm still literally like I'm on my phone texting with my buddies. It is impossible to freaking get celebrities together to draft on one day at the same time. And I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a dorky fantasy guy, but all the other guys, like, it's impossible. And Jerry's on tour right now. Jerry Cantrell's on tour on a solo tour. So that makes it even harder. So I'm trying to get this draft together. We already have everybody who's going to play. We just are not sure when. I think it's going to be this weekend. But then I have another high stakes draft next week. And then I play in other leagues with like friends who are in the industry. I run a league called the Ladies Only League, which is a lot of the great female analysts and reporters in the NFL. Some actresses, Molly Burnett, Rachel Lindsay, they won it last year as a team. So yeah, I'm the commissioner of the Howard Stern fantasy football league too. So that's going to be drafted. I actually got to text those guys because I'm not sure what time they're going to be doing their draft. So yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of busy work, especially when you're a commissioner. I run 3 dynasty leagues, 2 dynasty. So there's a lot going on.